All right. Let us conclude the EPL weekend. And of course, Arsenal are the biggest winners of this weekend. They had a statement win against Spurs, 4 goals to 1, if you want to put it that way, in a North London derby. But I think it was more than that. That was also a fax message that was sent to the offices at Bayern Munich ahead of the Champions League game coming up on Wednesday. All right. Let us get to the Arsenal game versus Spurs. First and foremost, congratulations. This is a 6 point clear of the table performance by Arsenal, and they are looking okay. All right. Remember, they are my pick, and this is their season. I said this is the season finale, and the Netflix series is going to be over. Now, was this game look like an easy game for Arsenal? I don't think so, but Arsenal made it look that way. And you might want to maybe say Thomas Frank was kind of, conservative, was a coward approach, but rightfully so. On the flip side, you have to credit Arsenal because they have earned their respect. All right. Now, when you match up against Arsenal, you have to be very careful. So, on one hand, yes, Spurs was very passive, but it is because of the respect Arsenal have put, or the fear Arsenal has put in the opponents. Okay. So it looked like a 3-4-2-1 by Thomas Frank, but not really. That was a 5-4-1 by him. It was defensive. All right. Let us see what we can do. Let us invite Arsenal. Let us give them the work. Okay. And Arsenal happily took the responsibility to put pressure on Spurs. It was really tight. It was really tight. Spurs was defending very, very well. The goal was to frustrate Arsenal, to kind of let them attack even more, and then Spurs will take advantage of whatever opportunities or mistakes Arsenal was going to hand over to them. Now, that did not happen, and it took one hell of a pass from Mikel Merino, and that was world class. World class. And that was the center forward. All right. And the advantage of using a midfielder in that position is exactly what that is. Now, we have to credit Leandro Trossard as well, because Merino is the center forward. All right. Once he moved, Trossard was able to recognize that vacant position. All right. So he was like, you know what? Let me make my run and occupy that position. And Mikel Merino, there was this connection. All right. Like I always say, in football, there's a language. There's a language. You have to be able to speak it. And there are times when, the IQ connect at a higher level, we see production like that. Mikel Merino saw the run. Whether the pass dictated the run or the run dictated the pass, well, we can just credit both players for their high level of IQ that they demonstrated. Well, he made a run. He got a pass. First touch was good. The connection was not really great by Trossard, but all he needed was to connect with the ball, and Arsenal was up 1. That was all Arsenal needed, because at this point in time, Spurs needed to revisit their plan. Plan A did not work. They need to switch something up. While they were still thinking about it, Eze doubled things up and they went to halftime. Talking about Eze, why would he not sign with Arsenal? Would rather sign with Spurs. That was not going to happen. Remember during the transfer, Spurs was really trying hard to get Eze, and Arsenal popped up and they grabbed him. Eze had no option once Arsenal showed interest. Okay. In the second half, less than 90 seconds, Eze got the brace. Arsenal were 3 goals up, and coming into the second half, now Thomas Frank, like I said, had to revisit his plan. So he went to plan B. I don't know if plan B should have been plan A to begin with. Like, all right, Arsenal is good. We respect them, but let us go and compete. All right. But either ways, now he switched from that defensive approach to a little bit more attacking approach, and they got a goal. It is from nowhere, to be honest. It was not really worked out, but it was a great tackle by Paulina and Richarlison. What a lob. He lobbed Raya. And again, you can't blame Raya because Arsenal had the ball. Zubimendi spent a whole year on the ball. I don't even know the reason why. But in a very difficult game, you cannot allow to be dispossessed like that in that area of the pitch. But that was absolutely carelessness by Martin Zubimendi. But Richarlison, I'm not going to take anything away from him. That lob was great. All right. Now, Spurs 3-1. They look like a little bit of light, a little bit of, a spark here and there, but it did not happen. Eze grabbed another goal, and that was his hat-trick. Talking about hat trick in these fixtures, we learned that that is the fourth player, Ebericheze, to score a hat trick in this North London derby. That is a big time performance. If there's anything I'm going to criticize Mikel Arteta for, it is because he should have substituted Ebericheze so the fans will stand on their feet and applaud him for that hat trick. He did not give Eze that opportunity. That is the only criticism I have for Arteta. But anyways, great performance by Eze. And we got to say this. Arsenal are playing that 4-2-3-1, and it looked like Zubimendi and Declan Rice look like a very good pivot. Okay. We know Martin Odegaard is the captain. And at the start, we saw Eze playing on the left side. And I'm like, I don't know if Eze on the left is his best position. All right. This is a guy you have to play behind the center forward and give him the freedom to play like a number 10, half 8, half 10, popping to the left, popping to the right here and there, and try to get on the ball to make plays. Well, Eze has been cooking. He's been serving all sort of dishes and everybody has been eating and it is really good. So what does that mean for Martin Odegaard when he comes back? And that is the question. It is a fair question. Okay, Odegaard is a very good player. He is a player that can also make things happen. But when you talk about scoring goals, I know there was that season when Odegaard, I think, got about what 15 goals or so. But Eze can come up big when it matters, especially if he's playing in that position. But anyways, that is a luxurious problem to have if you're Mikel Arteta because you still don't have Odegaard. In fact, Gabriel was not available. Victor Gyökeres was also not there. All right, you still have Gabriel Jesus. You still have Kai Havertz. They are deep. Squad depth is okay. So again, like I said, every ingredient is present. Everything is in the basket. It's up to Arsenal to win this league season. I don't know if they fail to win the EPL this season. Well, I don't know when. But I have absolute confidence in them that this is going to be the season. Until then, y'all stay blessed and peace out.